Hello children, how are you all? I hope you all are fine. Okay, shall we start our class? Take your social book, all of you. Take your social book. Open page number 186. Open your book. Open it fast. Page number 186. Which lesson is there? Geography. Unit 5. India, population, transport, communication and trade. In the previous class, history, third unit we have seen. World War II. Yes or no? What are the events were happened in the World War II and what were the causes and what were the treaties were happened in the World War II time. We have seen all those. Yes or no? So today we are going to start a new lesson. That lesson is Unit 5. India, population, transport, communication and trade. What do you know about India? India is our country and it has 29 states. Yes, and we are in Tamil Nadu and which is the capital of our country? Yes, Delhi is the capital of our country and which is our capital of our state? Yes, Chennai is the capital of our state. Yes or no? Okay, shall we start our class? See there, India, population. Population means makkal togai. Got it? And transport. Transport means போக்குவரத்து. Communication, தொலை தொடர்பு. Trade, வணிகம். Okay, in this lesson we are going to see these all. Okay, in introduction what is given, you see there, the study on human population is one of the most important aspects in geography of any region. The human population has many components, but the most fundamental are its number, composition, distribution and density. Therefore, it is essential to study these components. The study on these aspects also would reveal the workforce of the country. So we should know the population. Population means makkal togai. Is or no? So, we are going to see about the population now. See the picture. From this picture, we can understand that you see there the front area, the crowd is more, and the density is high. But the back area, you see the density is very low. So, in our country also, some states, it has very low population. But some other state, it has the very high population. Okay, what are the states? They have the high population, and what are the states? It has the very less population. We are going to see. Got it? And what is population? The total number of people residing in a country at a specified period of time is called the population of that country. So the population means ஒரு குறிப்பிட்ட கால பகுதியில் ஒரு நாட்டில் வசிக்கின்ற மொத்த மக்களின் எண்ணிக்கையே ஒரு நாட்டின் மக்கள் தொகை என்று அழைக்கப்படுகிறது. Okay, so the total number of people in if you take the India, in India total number of people, how many people are there in India? We have to measure, is or no? So in particular period, okay, it is called the population. India is the second most populous country in the world, next only to China. So China is the first place and India is the second most populous country. Okay, but in India population is very high. India covers only 2.4% of the land area of the world, but is the home of about 17.5% of the world's population. You see that? Only 2.4% only the land area is overall world, only we have 2.4%, but the population percent is 17.5 overall world. So the population is very high in India. Okay, next to China. Next one is census. Census means makkal togai kanakkeduppu. Census means makkal togai kanakkeduppu. Population census is the total process of collecting, compiling, analyzing or otherwise disseminating demographic, economic and social data pertaining. Okay, so மக்கள் தொகை கணக்கெடுப்பு என்பது ஒரு நாட்டின் வரையறுக்கப்பட்ட பகுதி அல்லது முழு பகுதியில் ஒரு குறிப்பிட்ட காலத்தில் உள்ள மக்களின் பொருளாதார மற்றும் சமூக புள்ளி விவரங்களை சேகரித்து தொகுத்து பகுப்பாய்வு செய்து மக்களியல் பற்றிய விவரங்களை அளித்தலாகும். Okay, so census means the area. Okay, in Tamil Nadu, how many people are there? Okay, how much people are there, and the economically, how do they improve, and the social samuham, these all they'll collect the data. Okay, how many people are there in a family, and the income, everything they'll collect. Okay, that is called census. At a specific time of all persons in a country or a well defined part of a country network, industrialization, administration, employment, opportunity, etc. Okay, so from this they provide the employment opportunity to the people. Okay, so that the census is calculated. And the next one is density of population. Density means adarthi. It is expressed as number of person per square kilometer. In 1 square kilometer, how many persons are there? That is density of population. Okay. According to 2011, the average density of population of India is 382 person per square kilometer. In 1 square kilometer, approximately. Okay, they measure like this. So 382 persons. India is one of the most thickly populated 10 countries of the world. The most densely populated state of India is Bihar. So in India, Bihar is the first place. Okay, in population, Bihar is the first place, and the state with least population density is Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, so in Bihar, population is very high, and the same time in Arunachal Pradesh, population is very low. Among the union territories, Delhi is the densely populated one. Okay, so in Delhi, the population is very high. Got it? So everywhere, all the states, it has the different types of population level. Okay, and in book, if you see there, page number 187, third para, you see there. The uneven distribution of population in the country is the result of several factors such as physical, socio-economic and historical ones. The physical factors include relief, climate, water, natural vegetation, minerals and energy resources. Socio-economic factors consist of the religion, culture, political issues, economy, human settlements, transport network, industrials, administration, employment opportunity, etc. Already we have seen this. So the population is dependent upon the land, the region also. Okay, so in desert area, if you see there, very less people only will be there in the Rajasthan. Okay, so it is dependent upon in mountain area also the population will be very low, but the plain area and plateau areas population will be very high, because the people they can stay there and they can do their agriculture in that field, and the people they can get their employment, yes or no. But in Rajasthan, desert is there, yes or no, so the people cannot live in that place, so the rainfall will be very low, yes or no. So the population will be very low in the Rajasthan. In mountain area also population will be very low. In forest area also, the some people, yes or no, in Andaman Nicobar the population will be very low, yes or no. But in the plain area and the plateau areas, the people they choose those areas to live. They settle their life in that areas, not in desert areas or not in mountain areas. Okay, so population level will be very low in mountain area, desert areas, but in the plateau areas the population level will be very high. Got it? So because of the choosing, the people are choosing the areas. Population map of India 2020. You see there? Arunachal Pradesh, green in color, there only the very less population. Got it? And Bihar, some of the states also it has the densely populated. Then we are going to see the migration. Okay, Migration means idempeyarvu. It is a movement of people across regions and territories. It can be internal or international. Okay, so internal migration means within a country, from one state to another state, or from one district to another district, or from one village to another village. If the people they migrate from this all, that is called the internal migration. Okay, the international migration means between the countries, from India to Pakistan, from India to Dubai, from India to USA. So this migration, this type of migration is called the international migration. Okay, so two types of migration are there: internal migration and international migration. Internal migration within a country, and international migration is in between the countries. Internal migration does not change the size of population of a country, but it influences the distribution of population in a nation. So when the people they migrate from the state to state, the population will not change. In Indian population will not change. If we go from Tamil Nadu to Mumbai, India's population will not change. But if anyone goes from India to any other country to settle there, the India's population will be low. Yes or no? Because the people they migrated from our country to another country. So the population means India's population. Yes or no? Within the country, internal migration does not change the size of population. At the same time, international migration, surely it will change the size of population. Okay, and it plays an important role in changing the composition and distribution of population. In India, the mass migration is from rural to urban. Rural means village area and urban means city areas. So most of the people, for their employment, for their jobs, they migrate from rural area to urban areas. You know the reason. Most of the people they go to Chennai, and they go to Bangalore, Mumbai. Yes or no? So they choose some particular place for their job and they migrate. So the mass migration is from rural to urban areas. It is there in India. Most of the people, village people, they go to city areas. Okay, urban areas. Age composition. The age composition of population refers to the number of people in different age groups in a country. Population of a nation is generally grouped into three broad categories. You see there, the age composition means children. Yes or no? Children will be there, and the youngest will be there, and the old people will be there. Yes or no? So in India, the children who has less than 15 years of age constitute 29.5%. The people above 60 years constitute 8%. So the dependent population in India is 37.5%, and the independent population 16 to 59 years is 62.5%. It shows that our country has enormous manpower. You see that 16 to 59, all the youngest, the people they can work. So in our country, children are very less, only 29.5%. The old people also very above 60 years also very less, only 8%. But 16 to 59 years old people, 62.5% are there. So the manpower is very high in India. Okay. Sex ratio. Sex ratio is defined as the number of females per 1000 male population. Okay. So the sex means the female and the male. Okay. So the number of females, 1000 ஆண்களுக்கு எத்தனை பெண்கள், that is called the sex ratio. If in a village there will be 100 men, okay, 100 men, and the 25 or 50 women will be there. Okay, that is. So that is called the sex ratio. Sex ratio is defined as the number of females per 1000 male population. If 1000 males are there, so 1000 ஆண்களுக்கு எத்தனை பெண்கள் இருக்கிறாங்க அப்படிங்கிறத கனெக்ட் பண்ணுறது தான் செக்ஸ் ரேஷியோ. Got it? Literacy rate. What is that? Literacy rate. What is literacy rate? Literacy means கற்றவர்கள். Yes or no? So literacy means what? கற்றவர்கள். The people who are able to read and write are known as literates. The people, those who know to read and write, யாருக்கெல்லாம் எழுத படிக்க தெரியுமோ அவங்க தான் யாரு? Literates. It is an important indicator of quality of people. Quantity of people, that is population. Quantity means what? அளவு, எவ்வளோ பேர் இருக்காங்க, that is quantity of people, that is population. Got it? The quality of people is literacy rate. அவங்களுடைய தரம், பீப்புளோட தரம், எவ்வளோ பேர் படித்தவர்கள் இருக்காங்க அப்படிங்கிறத பொறுத்து தான் ஒரு நாட்டோட தரம் இருக்கு. ஓகே, the percentage of literate people to the total population is termed as literacy rate. There has been a steady improvement in the literacy levels in India. So in India, the steady improvement is there in the literacy level. Got it? Occupational structure. Occupational structure. The economically active part of a country's population is enumerated during the census operation and stated as workers. Workers are placed under three-fold categories in census record. They are main workers, marginal workers, and non-workers. Okay, what are the three categories of workers? Say all of you. Say with me. Main workers, marginal workers, and non-workers. So these three are the three categories of the workers. Okay, the occupational structure, the தொழிலாளர் கட்டமைப்பு. Okay, so you see that according to the census of India, all those who had worked for the major part of the preceding year, at least 6 months or 183 days, are recorded as main workers. Those who work for less than 6 months are recorded as marginal workers, and the people who have not worked at all comes under non-workers. Okay, so the main workers, they work more than 183 days per year. Okay, per year, those who worked 183 days, those workers called as main workers, and below 6 months, that is 183 days, so those people, the workers, those who work less than 183 days, those workers are called marginal workers. The people who have not worked at all comes under non-workers. யாரெல்லாம் வேலையோ பார்க்கலையோ அவங்க தான் யாரு? non-workers. Okay, so these three main categories in occupational structure. Okay, population dynamics. Human population dynamics is a field that tracks factors related to changes in the size of population and its characteristics. Predicting population changes is an important aspect of population study. Okay, this is the population dynamics means மக்கள் தொகை இயக்கவியல். Okay, the population, how much population is there, and their changes, their characters. Okay, so this population dynamics told about the population and their characters. That is called the population dynamic. Population பற்றியும் அவங்களுடைய குணங்கள் அவங்க மக்கள் வந்து என்னென்ன பணிகளில் இருக்காங்க, அவங்களுடைய சமூக பொருளாதார சுற்றுச்சூழல் வந்து எப்படி இருக்குது அப்படிங்கிறத பற்றி சொல்கிறது தான் பாப்புலேஷன் டைனமிக்ஸ். ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ் ஆஃப் ஓவர் பாப்புலேஷன். In India, growing pressure of population and resources base created many socio-economic, cultural, political, ecological and environmental problems. The population problems vary in space and time and differ from region to region. So the population, okay, I'll say you an example. In a home, only one boy is there, okay, as a child. The father and mother, they will provide many things, yes or no, and whatever they buy, the only one child only will use, yes or no. When it increase 2, they have to buy 2, yes or no. When it increase 4 or 5, they have to buy more. So the quantity level will be going less, yes or no. ஒரு வீட்டில் வந்து ஒரே ஒரு பையன் மட்டும் இருந்தானா அவனுக்கு வந்து அவங்க அப்பா அம்மா அதிகமாக வாங்கி கொடுப்பாங்க, எசானோ. 2 பேர் 3 பேர் 4 பேர் அதிகமாகிறப்போ அவங்களுடைய பொருட்கள் வந்து என்ன செய்யும், எல்லாருக்குமே வாங்கணுங்கிறப்போ அவங்க வந்து என்ன செய்வாங்க, ஒரு கிலோ ஆப்பிள் வாங்கிட்டு வந்தாங்கன்னா அதை டிவைட் பண்ணுறப்போ எல்லாருக்குமே எப்படி தான் கிடைக்கும், ஒன்றா கிடைக்கும். பாப்புலேஷன் இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆகிறப்போ அவங்களுடைய தேவைகள் வந்து குறைவாக தான் சந்திக்கப்படும். ஓகே, ஸோ தட் இஸ் த மெயின் ப்ராப்ளம். ஓகே, when the population is increasing, their needs also will be increasing. அதிகமான தேவைகள் அதிகமாகும், yes or no. So that is the main problem of overpopulation. So every region, from one region to another region, the population problems will be different. Got it? Because some people they cannot get the employment and the low standard of living and malnutrition, சத்தே கிடைக்காது பிள்ளைங்களுக்கு. நிறைய பிள்ளைங்க இருக்கிறதுனால அவங்க என்ன செய்வாங்க, நிறைய பேர் இருக்கிறதுனால கவர்மெண்டால் அதிகமாக ப்ரொவைட் பண்ண முடியாது. மிஸ்மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் ஆஃப் நேச்சுரல் அண்ட் அக்ரிகல்ச்சுரல் ரிசோர்ஸஸ் அண்ட் ஹெல்த்தி என்விரான்மெண்ட். அக்ரிகல்ச்சுரல் ஃபீல்டெல்லாம் என்ன செஞ்சுருவாங்க, அவங்களுடைய சொந்த தேவைகளுக்காக யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கிடுவாங்க, வீடு கட்டுவாங்க, அதனால் அது அழிக்கப்படும். அதனால் அக்ரிகல்ச்சுரல் ரிசோர்ஸ்லாம் அழிக்கப்படும். ஓகே, நகரமயமாதல். ஓகே, the process of society's transformation from known as urbanization. Okay, urbanization means the process of society transformation from rural to urban is known as urbanization. Urbanization in India. The level of urbanization is measured in terms of percentage of urban population. Goa is the most urbanized state. Himachal Pradesh is the least urbanized state. So in Goa, most of the area urbanized. Okay, that is the first in India. But in Himachal Pradesh, most of the areas are rural areas. Okay, some areas only changed as urban areas. Among the union territories, Delhi is the most urbanized region, followed by Chandigarh. So Delhi is the most urbanized region in the union territories. Okay, there are 7 union territories are there. Now one more is added. Yes or no? So 8 union territories are there. So you see there in India, Goa is the most urbanized state and the Himachal Pradesh is the least urbanized state. Okay. Impact of urbanization. Impact of urbanization. Urbanization and population concentration go hand in hand and are closely related to each other. Rural to urban migration leads to population explosion in urban areas. So when the people they go from the rural area to city areas, the village area to city areas, in city areas the population will be very high. Yes or no? And metropolitan cities like Mumbai, Kolkata, Delhi have more population than that can accommodate. அவங்களுக்கு இருக்கிற இடத்தை விட அதிகமான population இருக்கிறாங்க. Because the people they are going, still they are going from the rural area to the metropolitan cities and they are going to the city areas for their employment. The following are the major problems of urbanization in India. It creates urban sprawl. It creates urban sprawl. Urban sprawl means நகர விரிவாக்கத்தை ஏற்படுத்துகிறது. It makes overcrowding, அதிக மக்கள் தொகை நெருக்கடி. In urban centers, it leads to shortage of houses. If the population is very high, where will they stay? So that shortage of houses will be there in urban areas. It leads to the formation of slums. Slums means what? குடிசை பகுதிகள். So if there is no place to stay, the people they will make the slums and they stay. It increases traffic congestion. Okay, traffic congestion means போக்குவரத்து நெரிசல். It creates water scarcity. குடிநீர் பற்றாக்குறை. In some areas there will be no water, drinking water. Water will be very less. Because the population will be very high. So the government cannot provide the water. Okay, but the village areas are good. We can get the water always. Comparing to the city areas, we can get everything in the village areas. It creates drainage problem. வடிகால் பிரச்சனை. It poses the problem of solid waste management. Unable to the waste, the waste will be the reason everybody in the people, the population is so high in the particular area. The waste also will be very high. So they cannot dispose everything. Okay, then it increases the rate of crime. So குற்றங்கள் அதிகரிக்கும். Crime means what? குற்றம் அதிகரிக்கும். So these all are the major problems of urbanization in India. So அதிகமான நகரமயமாகிறதுனால இந்த பிரச்சனைகளெல்லாம் இந்தியா சந்திக்க வேண்டியதா இருக்குது. ஓகே, next one is transportation. போக்குவரத்து. Transport is a system in which passengers and goods are carried from one place to another. So transport. What is transport? Transport is a system in which passengers and goods means things, are carried from one place to another place. That is called transport. Transport system is considered as the lifeline of a country. If there is no transport facility, can you move from one place to another place? In corona lockdown time, you were there in the home itself. Because no transportation facility, no buses runs and no cars, everything. So we were there in the home itself. Okay, if there is no transportation, we cannot move from one place to another place. Earlier men traveled on foot and used animals for transport. With the discovery of wheel, the earlier man, the ancient people only, they discovered the wheel. From the wheel only, now our transportation is developing. Okay, so transport was made easier and gradually different means of transport were developed. So many types of transports are there. Sometimes we go by bus, sometimes we go by very far areas, very long areas we can go by the train, and from another country we can go by only the aeroplanes, flights. And many vehicles are there, 2-wheelers are there, 4-wheelers are there. So many types of and the ship, boats, everything. Okay, let us see about the transportation and types of transportation. Means of transport. Land transport. What are the land transport? Roadways, you know that, road, and railways, train, pipelines, and water, inland waterways, ocean routes. Air, domestic airways, international airways. Got it? So these all are the types of transport. One more time, you have to say with me: land, roadways, railways, pipelines, water, inland waterways, ocean routes, air, domestic airways, international airways. Okay. The first we are going to see the roadways. Roads play an important role in carrying goods and passengers for short, medium and long distance. You see that from our school is there in Pothangudi. Pothangudi to Kalakadu, that is the short. Okay. Then Pothangudi to Tirunelveli, that is medium. Then Podatangudi to Viluppuram, Chennai, that is long distance, okay, and it is highly suitable for short distance services. But most of the people they choose the buses, road services for the short distance only. From Cheran Mahadevi to Kalakadu to Tirunelveli, like that, okay. And it is comparatively easy and cheap to construct and maintain roads. For the purpose of construction and maintenance, roads are classified into many types of roads are there. Village roads are there, and if you see the bypass roads are there. In Tirunelveli roads will be very different. It will be very neat. As comparing to our village roads, the bypass roads in Tirunelveli, it will be very neat because more buses, transportation will be very high. So you see there, national highways NH, state highways SH, district roads, rural roads, that is called village roads, border roads and international highways. So these types of roads are there in our countries. What are the types of roads in our country? National highways NH, state highways SH, district roads, rural roads, border roads and international highways. First, classification of roads in India. Okay, so we have seen the types of roads. Yes or no? We have seen the types of roads: NH, SH, district roads, rural roads, border roads, and golden quadrilateral. It is also there in the book. Okay, the first we are going to see the national highways. Okay, the national highways form the most important system of road transportation in India. These highways are running through length and breadth of the country, connecting capitals of states, major ports, rail junctions, industrial and tourist centers. So this is one of the most important system of road transportation in India. So in India, the national highways, it is the most important transportation system, because from this highways we can go to the capital of states or major ports or rail junctions and industrial and tourist centers. Got it? And Ministry of Road Transport and Highways of India is responsible for the development and maintenance of national highways in India. The longest national highway is NH44. Book page number 190. Open. The longest national highway is NH44, which runs from Varanasi in Uttar Pradesh to Kanyakumari. Okay, it starts from Uttar Pradesh to Kanyakumari. That is the very longest national highway. Okay, that is NH44. And the distance of this NH44 is 2369 kilometers. The shortest national highway is NH47A, which runs from Ernakulam to Kochi port. So that is the shortest. Only the distance of this NH47A is 6 kilometer. You see there only 6 kilometer NH. The national highway is there. It starts from Ernakulam to Kochi port. Already I told you the national highways, they meet, they joined, they go through the ports and the important states and industrial and tourist centers. Okay. In the do you know box, what is there? You see the National Highways Authority of India, NHAI, was established in 1995. It is an autonomous body under the Ministry of Surface Transport. See this is the picture of NH. It starts from Kanyakumari. This is a picture of NH, National Highways. And the next one is State Highways. What is State Highways? The state highways are usually roads that link important cities, towns and district headquarters within the state. and connect them with national highways or neighboring states. These roads are administered and financed by state governments. So these state highways are administered by only the state governments. Okay, and these roads links the important cities. What are the important cities are there in the state? This highway will go through the cities and the towns and district headquarters. Also the state highway will be passes. Okay, it is passes through the important cities, towns and district headquarters. Got it? So and connect them with the national highways or highways of neighboring states. So the national highways are there in every state, yes or no? So the state highways will be connected to the national highways of the neighboring states. Our neighboring state is Kerala, yes or no? Andhra Pradesh. These are our neighboring states, yes or no? So our state highway is connecting with the Kerala's national highway, with the Arunachal, what is that? The Andhra Pradesh national highway. Okay, then these all administered and financed by the state government. District roads. District roads provide connectivity between the district and taluk headquarters with the state highways and national highways. District roads are constructed and maintained by the Public Works Department of the state. So the district roads, in many taluk headquarters, okay, taluka. So these connect to the taluk headquarters with the state highways and the national highways. So this the state highways connect with the national highways and the district roads connect with the state highways and also the national highways. Rural roads, which is called the village roads. These roads are vital for providing links in the rural areas. It links the different villages with their neighboring towns. They are maintained by village panchayats. So all the village roads, you see that our village roads will be like this. Yes or no? So it links the rural areas from one village to another village. Yes or no? So they are maintained by only the village panchayat. Border roads. This will be there in all the border areas. LA. These are the roads of strategic importance in border areas. They are constructed and maintained by Border Roads Organization. It was established in 1960 for the development of the roads of strategic importance in the northern and northeastern border area. So the border roads will be there in the border. It was the Border Roads Organization only constructed, okay, the border roads, and it was established in 1960. Golden Quadrilateral. Okay, what is that? Golden Quadrilateral. Golden Quadrilateral 5,846 km long road of 4/6 lanes connects India's 4 metropolitan cities: Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, Mumbai, Delhi. Again Delhi. You see that it starts from Delhi. See the picture? It starts from Delhi and Mumbai and Chennai, Kolkata, again Delhi. Okay. So this is the metropolitan cities. The Golden Quadrilateral passes through the metropolitan cities only. It is not goes to any other cities. You see the Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, again Delhi. Like that. This project was launched in 1999. Okay. When it was launched, 1999. Golden Quadrilateral. North, South and East, West corridors. North-South corridor aims at connecting Srinagar in Jammu Kashmir with Kanyakumari in Tamil Nadu. You see there? The North, South and East, West corridors. Okay. So the North-West, which is the north area in our country, Jammu and Kashmir, and the south area is Kanyakumari. You see that from Jammu and Kashmir to Kanyakumari, the straight road comes, yes or no? That is corridors. It starts from Srinagar in Jammu Kashmir and it passes through many states and it's end on Kanyakumari in Tamil Nadu. Got it? This is the very long road. 4076 kilometer it passes. And the east-west corridor, you see that it starts from the Gujarat in Porbandar, okay, Porbandar in Gujarat and Assam to Assam, east to west, Gujarat to Assam, okay, and the kilometers, the length is 3640 kilometer, and they meet at a junction. ரெண்டுமே ஒரு இடத்துல மீட் பண்ணுது. Third place is called Jhansi. Already in the history map we have seen Jhansi. Okay, so these areas joined in a part is Jhansi. Next one is expressways. These are multi-lane good quality highways for high-speed traffic. Some of the important expressways are Mumbai-Pune Road, Kolkata Dum Airport Road, Durgapur Kolkata Road, Yamuna Expressway between Delhi and Agra. Okay, so these all the expressways are there. You see that this is one of the expressway picture. Mumbai Pune Road, Kolkata Dum Airport Road, Durgapur Kolkata Road, Yamuna Expressways between Delhi and Agra. International highways. These are the roads that link India with neighboring countries. India with neighboring countries. Okay, the promoting harmonious relationship with them. These highways have been constructed with an aid from World Bank under an agreement with the Economic and Social Commission for Asia Pacific, ESCAP. Okay, ESCAP, not escape, ESCAP. These roads connect important highways of India with those of the neighboring countries. So India, these international highways are connecting our country with Pakistan, with Nepal, with Bhutan, with Bangladesh and with Myanmar. Okay, so the international highways are very important because it only link India with neighboring countries for promoting harmonious or one relationship. We can maintain one good relationship with the countries. Okay, the picture is given. I think it is not clear. You see that in India it goes, the road goes from two other countries. So like that they form the Silk Road. And your homework is answer the following in a paragraph. What is urbanization? Explain its problem. Map page number 191. You see that what is the map is there in 191 page. India roadways, golden quadrilateral highway. Okay, already I have told you how it is in the pink color, sorry, in the yellow color, the north south corridor highway and east west corridor highway, the national highway number, important road. Like that many are given. First you have to practice these three: golden quadrilateral highway, east west corridor highway, north south corridor highway. These all you practice one day. The next day you have to practice these two. Almost you have to finish. So the roadways. Got it? Okay, finish your homework. We'll see tomorrow.